Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Miraculous Ladybug, and Star vs. the Forces of Evil. I'm Delaney Stovall, and today I'm joined by Michelle Anderer.
Hello.
Alrighty, so we're discussing, we're the feedback podcast for this week's episode of Steven Universe. It's the last one out of each city.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little longer than usual. So, y'all sent us lots of feedback. Lots. Not as much as last time. Thank you, by the way.
Last time was crazy. We had like 30
lot.
from one person, though. That's pretty rare.
We're going to try and keep this one a little bit shorter than last time. But we'll start first with what we thought about the episode. So, Michelle, what did you think about Last One Out of Beach City?
Oh my god. Like, I know we keep saying this, but every time we think this show can't get gayer, it somehow manages to get gayer, and this was a perfect example of that. Oh my god. The mystery woman is so hot, Delaney. Hot levels off the charts. Like, Pearl, oh my god, Pearl was so good! Pearl in the jacket, Pearl, evading police, Pearl driving. Oh my god, it was all good. It was no complaints, honestly. I could not find fault with this episode on any level, really, at all.
Well, the listeners found fault, but...
What? What?
We'll get to it.
What? Oh!
We'll get to
Take it back, listeners! Take it back!
Don't worry. But I thought, one word this episode, gay!
Yes! The most important word to take away, everybody.
How do they do this? Every time, Garnet is literally a walking lesbian relationship.
I know! It still manages to be gayer!
No, somehow Pearl is gayer than Garnet.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens.
I don't know.
Is just the gayest. And then she does stuff like this, and I'm like, Pearl. But all of it, Pearl, this is just such an amazing Pearl episode. What? We haven't had really a Pearl episode in a bit, and it's just, this is good stuff. A+ stuff.
I remember seeing comments after it aired where people were like, finally, a gay Pearl episode where she's not miserable. I was like, actually, you're right. We really did need to see this aspect of her. It's so true. And I'm glad we finally got it because it was glorious.
Finally the gays are happy.
Finally. I guess Garnet was always pretty happy.
Well,
at least by the end of the answer, she's happy. At the beginning of the answer, not so much, maybe. But it turned out okay.
But let's get started on some asks. So I'm gonna have to do some rotations here, but because we have an email, and someone messaged Dylan with an ask, and he was like, "Thanks."
I don't even do it, but okay.
Crap. But alright, so first we have Cyclone Rachel, who yesterday tagged me in a post. I hadn't seen the episode yet, so thanks for spoiling me. I'm really not mad. It's fine. Spoiled anyway. I got on Tumblr at 7 o'clock on Thursday. It's my own fault. And she tagged me in the or I'm assuming, girl, I'm sorry. I can go to their blog actually and see. But it was the repressed nerd and just.
Oh yes, yes.
Thank you. You're so right. True.
I feel like many of us identify with the repressed nerd.
I am repressed nerd. But
definitely not voice of reason. No. That's for sure.
Alright, so Cyclone Rachel has 2 asks. Says, I like that Pearl wears mom jeans even when she's acting cool. Same. Mom jeans. It's pretty great. Leather jacket mom jeans. Also, is Mystery Girl showing up again? Because the end credits did say introducing, and what is her and Pearl's ship name? Because I think I ship it already. Okay, I think everyone ships it at this point.
Absolutely.
Her initial is S, right?
Yeah, so we don't know what that, yeah.
Who knows? Mystery Pearl, I don't know. I mean, that'd be cool. I'm fine with that, actually. Mystery Pearl.
Yeah, there isn't a ship name yet. You think the fans would be on that, but maybe it's a little awkward because we don't know the actual name.
Yeah, God, how do you make a ship? I mean, well,
it's a mystery person.
Names, though. I mean, Ruby has ship names that aren't based on names, but we don't gotta get into that. But so yeah, what do you think? So Is Mystery Girl showing up again? Do you think so?
Oh god, I hope so. I mean, okay, if we can bring, like, Jamie the mailman from, like, episode, like, 4 back and make him, like, a semi-prevalent, like, side character, we can do that to Mystery Girl. I feel like she could totally come back.
Agree.
Who doesn't want to see Mystery Girl again? Interact, like, who doesn't want to see Pearl, like, do the phone call with her and see, like, how horribly awkward but great it is? Like, everyone wants that.
Yeah, no, I think
she'll come back in some capacity.
I wouldn't take the introducing as a good sign.
I don't think that necessarily. But, like, even, like, Kevin came back. No, so, like, I feel like Mystery Girl's gonna come back.
She's deaf coming back. I just feel like she's deaf. Like, she's deaf. Deaf coming back. But
hashtag deaf.
But, like, introducing, like, it was more like, which, you know, the way they did the end was just great.
That was really great.
And it was just, like, that was A+ stuff. Alright, another ask from Cyclone Rachel. So what exactly is Greg's history with Barb? Do you think we'll ever find out? Also, I really like that Greg, Barb, and Vidalia are friends. It was a cute little detail in what was a really great episode.
Mm-hmm.
What is Greg? Did Greg and Barb date? Is Barb...
What? Oh, God. I mean, I feel like, I don't know. Like, don't you think Steven would feel really weird if Greg started dating again?
I feel like he'd be really supportive. I mean, he'd probably be really weird. I don't know.
I feel like he might be outwardly supportive, but then he, like, goes home and he's like, that's a little weird.
But then knowing this show, like, it's not going to be that. Like, it's going to be something super weird that, like, like Greg, like...
Steven falls asleep and possesses Greg's date's body and tries to get them to not be together. I don't know.
I don't even know. It's gonna, like, there's gonna be some weird, like, they have some super weird, like, history that has nothing to do with anything, and it's just, like, really awkward and probably has something to do with mail.
Oh my god, yeah, maybe that's how, because I guess, you know, because Greg, like, knew Vidalia, because they kind of, like, met the first day he was even at Beach City. It's like, that makes sense why they'd be friends. Maybe Barb was just, like, also one of those people that was, like, in their early 20s, like, when he was there, so, like, they just naturally hung out, because Beach City is really small, so...
No, I feel like it's just kind of, this is like, oh, all the old people have to be friends. Don't
you? Yeah, like, he's also friends with, like, Kofi, and, like, Mr. Smiley.
I feel like, I mean, I doubt we'll ever find out. I, honest to God, forgot who Barb was for, like,
me too, a hot second.
Like, I was like, who is that? And I was like, oh, right. And the only reason I know that is because I love Sadie. That's the only reason. For those who do not remember who Barb is, Sadie's mom, like, is she, like, in charge? Is she, like, head of the post office?
I guess, yeah, because, like, she was in charge of Jamie.
She's a male person. I don't know if she's...
a male person.
She's, like,
I guess
charged of it. Also, I enjoy everyone, like Cyclone Rachel and this next Anon, who label things in parentheses feedback podcast. Thank you.
Aw, very specific.
Because I've gotten other asks. I'm like, do you want me to answer this on air? I need to know. I do get asks sometimes, like, that are just, like, my blog.
Oh, right.
So to the next ask from the Anon. Since it's all but confirmed that Amethyst has read the works of Shakespeare, what do you think is her favorite Shakespeare play? One, this is an excellent ask. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're asking hard-hitting questions.
Yeah.
What do you
think? Favorite Shakespeare play? Maybe The Tempest.
The Tempest.
I don't know. I feel like she could identify a lot with that, like, one guy who, like, you know, he's, like, on the it's been a long time since I read Shakespeare. You know, that was like the one guy who, like, he and the like wizard dude is not really a wizard, like is really mean to him, and he, like, falls in love with his daughter, but then, like, I'm not explaining this very well, but I feel like Amethyst would identify with that guy.
I think my only knowledge
you know who I'm talking about, listeners.
My only knowledge of The Tempest comes from, I think, Brave New World. I think that's the play. What's his face?
What? Oh my gosh.
I actually consulted my English major best friend. I was like,
oh, nice. Yeah, good college resource there, Delaney.
I mean, well, we all watched, like, they watched it before me, and they're like, Delaney didn't watch the episode? I was like, yeah, okay, calm down, guys.
Oh my god.
And she thinks that Titus Andronicus, because that's the play where everyone dies, and I'm like, you're right. You're right.
Oh my god.
That would be Amethyst's favorite.
She would like that.
And, like, if, like, people get turned into meat pies, like, that was definitely up Amethyst's alley. Like, I think she would really enjoy that one.
Oh my god. I agree. I mean, I think she'd like most any of them. Maybe Hamlet, too. I mean, probably just not, like, Romeo and Juliet. I feel like that's not...
She'd be like, boo! And, like...
Yeah, she'd be like, oh, this is stupid!
That wouldn't be her fave. So, moving on. Another Anon. So we have a bunch of Anon and just a few with people who signed names. Actual people. So, last one out of Beach City was amazing. Agreed. I can see the plot go two ways with Mystery Girl. Either we get an episode about her not being good for Pearl, or she and Pearl will start hanging out off screen. I really hope for the latter. Mystery Girl's design is great, and I feel like Pearl deserves to reach the conclusion of her growth arc. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I don't know if Pearl's gonna reach her, like, growth arc conclusion through, like, finding a love interest, but I do think it'd be nice to see her happy with somebody. Yeah. So, I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, I still want Pearl Amethyst to be endgame, but, like, you know, I cannot deny the, like, magnet attraction of Mystery Girl.
I mean, Pearl Amethyst was real in this episode, though.
Like, you think so?
I mean, a little bit. I'm not even, like, that big of a shipper, and I'm like, right. Yeah, it was there. I can't really see them going this, like, her not being good for Pearl.
Yeah, like, what the heck? Like, they literally just did that kind of with Rose. Like, I don't think the, like, human Rose rebound is going to, like, also
human Rose
rebound, you know? I mean, she, like, literally looks the same. I mean, even, like, Steven brings it up in the episode, right? He's like, are we just, like, not gonna talk about how much she looked like my mom?
So good. I think we'll see her one more time, probably, if they do.
Yeah, I hope so.
I can definitely see this being, like, an off-screen kind of thing. Like, Pearl's in the corner, like, blushing on the phone. We're like, who's she talking to? Oh, we know who she's talking to.
You know.
Kind of thing. Or, like, they're being, like, cutesy notes. Or, oh, we find out, like...
her name, for real?
Or, like, Amethyst is like, oh, Pearl's not here right now. She's hanging out with her boo thing. Like, something like that.
Her boo thing.
That's the words Delaney said.
Hashtag boo thing.
Hashtag boo thing. Oh, God. So, yeah, I think... Well, about the conclusion of her growth arc, I can see why people, like... It would be really satisfying because, and we do have other comments later about, you know, we always have, you know, Pearl's always kind of sad, or kind of, people sometimes see her as this bitter, like, kind of, you know, this sad, bitter, gay, like, is just hates Greg. And, I mean, she's not, but I can understand, like, that feeling that way when you're watching it, and, like, seeing, like, that kind of seeing as an unflattering depiction of Pearl, and then having something like this would be kind of, like, satisfying to have Pearl have someone, and then kind of having, like, it isn't, I mean, it's natural progression, having, like, her move on, and natural progression after 6,000 years, you know, it's casual, but...
After 6,000 years.
But it's fine. I mean, I can see, you know, I can understand, like, this growth arc, seeing, you know, it is Pearl kind of, like, trying to be cool. It's a little weird, like, don't break the law, Pearl, you don't gotta do that, don't traumatize Steven more than he is. The poor child, put him in a blanket, wrap him up, and just set him on the couch.
Steven did not sign up for that car ride. Like, Amethyst was into it, but Steven was like, you guys, this is really bad.
No. Alright, okay, so this is some comments about Pearl's design.
Oh.
This is good. I really like this. Is like, I'm about this. I hope this new put-together Pearl hints at what she'll look like after her next regeneration. Her current looks, it seems influenced by the orderly role she took in Steven's life. So perhaps gaining confidence and hanging out with Mystery Girl means her next look will be Punk Pearl.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like... I mean, this episode was, like, kind of, like... Because, like, Mystery Girl was kind of more of, like, a motivation for Pearl to kind of explore... Well, not explore, but just, like, you know, because, like, the thing was, like, she was, like, a renegade. She used to be, like, super bad. And, like, why does she feel like she needs to overcompensate for that now? Like, I think it's pretty apparent that it's because, like, you know, Rose dying really, really, like, made her super... like, way more, like, concerned about, like, Steven's safety and, like, being really worried all the time. And she probably wasn't like that during the rebellion at all. So, like, life events have changed her, but, like, I feel like this episode was more about, like, her trying to, still be, like, kind of what she was before. I mean, the circumstances have still changed, and she's still gonna be, like, the overprotective mom that she always was with Steven, but it was nice to see her be, like, kind of, maybe more like she used to be, too. I think that is an aspect of her I would like to see more. I don't know if it means her outfit will be more punky. I think that'd be cool, but...
I mean, I can see them doing it. Like, I don't just think... I won't take this as a hint. I mean, I want Punk Pearl. That'd be awesome.
She can literally rock any outfit, so...
Yes. I don't really want her, though, to, like... I don't want to have that situation where Pearl has a new form. So that's...
Oh, right. Exactly.
Guys, like, I want them to have new outfits. Guys, if they have new outfits, that means somebody, like, attacked them. Exactly. That's not okay. Like, no. But I think... I could feel this. Like, that'd be, maybe changing her look a little bit. I mean, I don't really want Pearl to, like, transform for, like, this girl or anything. I want, Pearl can come out of her shell a little bit and, do what she wants to do. And
to be fair, like, the mystery girl wasn't really into her until after she, like, took off her jacket and pants and was just, like, herself. So, that's good. That's
be better. Yourself, kids.
Yes. And tell people you saved their planet. They'll think it's a hilarious joke and give you their number.
I can't wait. She has to come back just so she can be like, what? This is real. Or she's gonna be completely like, oh, cool, whatever. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do. Or we'll probably never see her again and the fandom will just cry.
We will cry so loud. I think it'll happen. If Steven Universe as a show runs for like 20 more seasons, we will see her again.
Where is she? Alright, so this is about Mystery Girl's design.
Ooh, yeah.
On the topic of Mystery Girl's design looking oddly detailed, is this an ATLA Azula type situation where she cameos once only reacting to a main character but will be very important later? That is a good point, because, yes, they did that with Azula. I mean, she was very detailed. Granted, that was also kind of part of, like, the fun, because, like, LOL, look, it's Rose. But
yeah!
Like, that was, I mean, I think
punk Rose.
The main gag was that she just looks like Rose. So I don't want to put too much, like, that's real though, having, like, Kuvira, that, like, detailed characters in the background turn out to be things. But granted, that's also on, Avatar and Korra, and Steven Universe we have weird background characters, so who knows? I think.
Yeah. I feel like it's mostly just for, like, the joke effect. She's just, like, so, it's, like, body type, hair, like, face structure, like, so much.
Like, let's make human Rose.
Yeah. Like, literally, yeah. Oh my god.
Okay, more about Mystery Girl. So, new headcanon ask. New headcanon, what? Okay, Delaney can't.
Wait, that's their name?
No, it's Anon. These are Anon. If I don't say the name, they're all Anon. I'm sorry. I usually say that at the beginning. So, new headcanon. Mystery Girl's name is some variant of Susan, both because it means Rose in modern Hebrew and because the voice actress of Rose Quartz is Susan Egan. I buy it.
Oh, I buy that. That sounds like too much to not
the code enough.
Coincidence. Yeah, Susan.
Like, I got you. That seems like okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of evidence.
Like, I mean, I'm sold. You sold. Sold.
I'm sold too.
Oh. More comments on Susan. I think fine name. It's pretty normal. Fine. Cool. Anyway, okay. This one is a Dylan directed ass. Those are my favorite. Okay.
Why are those your favorite?
They're just so funny. I think Dylan overreacts to Mike Cole being in last. This is why I like it because
oh my god,
it's my fave. Okay, I think Dylan overreacts to Mike Kroll being in Last One Out of Beach City. He's never named or commented on. Well, he is named. They say his name once. I actually rewatched the episode because of this ask because I wanted to make.
Okay.
And so basically, it's just a glorified cameo. I mean, true. It was.
Yeah, but it works.
Cameo. It's fine, Dylan. Don't worry. Rebecca's BF, Ian Jones Quarty. I don't know what that means to me. Okay.
TQ, yeah.
Makes a cameo in basically every crowd ever.
Oh my god, that's true!
But that doesn't mean he's actually a character. And then smiley face. The smiley face was a good touch. Thank you. I agree. It was just, we didn't listen to the podcast. Well, I didn't. Michelle might have.
Maybe like 10 minutes of it.
I'm a bad.
Seemed hyped. That was the impression I got. I mean, how could you not be hyped? This episode had everything.
I mean, hello, like, it's a gay episode.
That's what I mean, it had everything.
We'll get excited about it. I like also Dylan like just loves cameos. Like Dylan's like this is like Dylan's thing. I'm not shocked that. I had to Google who Mike Kroll was because I don't know who that is. I Googled it. I was like, okay, sorry, Delaney's not very hip or cool, and I'm just like I don't know who these people are. Like I don't keep up with music like at all. But yeah, no, I like we did just a cameo, and yep, I don't know this Rebecca's BF thing. I don't know what's.
Oh, her boyfriend is Ian.
Okay, I don't like. He's in stuff. Like, is he in like he's? In-
he was like the god. I think he was like the supervising director of TV Universe until he left. I think like last year to do his own thing. I'm not sure if his own thing is a show, but he has like a game for it. OKKO.
Okay.
Yeah. He was in the Universe like since the beginning, and he was Rebecca's TA when they were in college together, and they've been dating for like 8 years, and I just think that's like the sweetest thing ever.
That's adorable.
That's like so cute, and then she brought him onto her show, and now he's doing it. I don't know. I think that's really cool.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And he's apparently like animated into things in the show, which that's adorable.
Yeah. He did like. He does a lot of, like, the fusion dances with... I know, like, him and Rebecca did a bunch of those. So, yeah. And he animated a lot of the Cheeseburger Backpack episode, actually. Nice. Like, that very cartoony style is very, like, him.
Yeah.
That was a tangent.
Okay, no, tangents.
Yeah.
We're all about tangents on this podcast. And then, oh god, another Dylan-related ask.
I thought you liked those, though.
Oh, this one? No, I don't like this one. You're going to scream when I read it.
Okay.
Theory. We've seen 4 of Rose's Horcruxes now.
Oh, no! Do we have to answer that?
And it just says,
so bogus.
Rose's sword, Lion, and Mystery Girl. I'm just going to say
That's not a Horcrux. He's a human.
We're just going to... I mean, Harry was a Horcrux. I'm not giving credence to this theory. We're just going to say no and move on.
Yes, no.
I'm rolling my eyes really hard. Just, no.
No Horcruxes in the show.
Somewhere Dylan is screaming. I'm not going to tell him we got this ask. I'm not going to validate him, so no. I'm not going to do it. So
there you go, Delaney. Do not give in to temptation.
So I'm not gonna. No. All right. So we have an ask from Wicked Geek.
Oh yeah, Wicked Joe. I'm glad. Okay.
Hi Delaney. Oh, thank you for.
Oh,
makes me happy. Here we go. What would be your reaction if in future episodes we start seeing Pearl bringing a phone with her on missions? How cute would that be? What if we start seeing Pearl sneaking out so she can meet with her mysterious girl? Or better yet, what if Pearl invites her to the temple? How would that scenario go? Also, care to guess the mysterious girl's name? You know, just for fun. Well, I think we've established it's Susan.
Yeah, it sounds like it's probably Susan. I mean, that one Anon had some very good evidence to support.
Bye. So, okay, yeah, no. Her having a phone, that'd be just one, get Pearl a cell phone. Like,
just for this person, yes, she'll have a phone.
And I want it to be like a really garbage, like, flip phone.
Oh yeah, where she's like trying to figure out how to text, and she's like sucks, and Steven's like, why did you get this horrible phone? She's like, well, it was free in the garbage.
And
like
Peridot's like twitching in the background.
Oh yeah, like this ancient human technology.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
What is this Nokia? And like just like freaking out in the background.
You can't do Twitter on this.
Yeah, no, literally. And so no, that'd be super adorable. Like, I can't talk right now. Like, I mean, hello, we got the walkie-talkie stuff. Like, imagine that with her flirting with, like, please. Pearl sneaking out, that'd be hilarious. Oh, like, she's sneaking out, everybody knows, and then Garnet's like...
Yeah, they, like, know exactly, and she's, like, trying to be really nonchalant. They're like, we know you're gonna
And then Garnet just, like, looks at the audience. Just, like... Yes.
It's a really slow turn to the camera.
I mean, I want to see her at the temple. I think we could see her show up at the temple. That seems like something that if they're gonna bring her back,
she would be like so chill. Like if she could stand Pearl saying all that stuff to her at the concert, like she could pretty much like be unfazed by anything.
Like, staring at the portrait of Rose.
Yeah, I'll be like,
Oh, well, this is
Pearl has a type.
Oh man. Oh, good stuff.
I'd love to see that.
Now we have Taste of MTG, which, thanks for following me. You followed me and then sent me an ask. Like, thank you. I really loved the most recent episode. Like, really loved it. Like, maybe as much as Dylan loves the new Lars. That's a lot. Dylan loves that episode.
That's a high claim, but I don't doubt it, because this is a very good episode. This is definitely more memorable than the new Lars. We can agree on that, right?
Somewhere Dylan is, like, screaming.
He's, like, sneezing uncontrollably. He's like, what is this?
What's going on?
Who's talking about me?
In addition to the main story, all the background stuff was great. Pearl not being able to open the can, yet I died. Like, that part was so funny. Like, she just can't get the can open. And then her being like, I'm gonna start, like, I think I'm gonna drink tonight. It's like, whatever, Pearl, it's apple juice.
I know, right? She didn't even choose the cool drink. Amethyst got the cool one.
Cool drink.
The super, like, fizzy, strawberry, like, super sugar one. That would have been, that sounds wonderful and awful.
Said, is this Beach Town? Do you mean Beach City not being on fire anymore?
Well, there's Ocean Town.
So they went to Ocean Town. I don't really...
Used.
Yeah. And so the guy in the crowd singing along, all great stuff. Agreed. No, all the background stuff in this episode was A+, like A++.
Agreed.
And then also so glad for Pearl to have some good fortune. She deserved something good to happen to her. True.
True. Nobody's gonna disagree with that. Okay.
Now we have Oh God, Not Her.
How many did they send this time?
Well, it's like 4. It's
okay. That's
not 30. It's okay.
Yeah, that's a lot less. So good job.
I'm not gonna read all of it because it's like a lot.
Oh.
But, it begins with, hello, it's time to live up to my URL and deliver some fresh discourse. Smiley face. So that's the preface for this.
That's, alright.
Oh, man. So, now, okay, I will read this. The Crooniverse needs to really stick with one narrative on this whole Steven's mental health plot. And they said they randomly made a joke, but about Pearl's child endangerment and how Steven's coping with that because we just had mindful behavior. Why are we regressing the seriousness of this? I feel that. It's... the show does this a lot, though. Like, they did this with Lapis. Like, they do this with Lapis all the time. So, oh, is it because of all that time you spent? No, I just like the show. Like,
they like poke fun at it. I mean, not like in a mean way. I think just in a kind of like, we don't want to dwell on this in a really like sad, upsetting way all the time. We feel comfortable enough with it being in the past to joke about it openly on the show. That's kind of how I took it.
Well, I don't think we're regressing. It's just we do this.
Yeah, I don't
about it, and then we'll like address it.
Yeah,
and then like we'll keep going with it.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand it's kind of annoying, especially like sometimes it's really awkward when we have things like this, and it's like, oh, that wasn't funny. Like, why did they do that? There's been a few times on the show where we've had something that was supposed to be funny and it really wasn't. So I can understand it's kind of like, oh, why are they doing this? But I think we're gonna come back to it. It's just this is kind of like we've had some weird episodes. We've had some like Beach City Citizen episodes, and we have like this episode, and we're like when we get back more into I think like when stuff's really going on, like we'll address it. Like this is obviously we're not just gonna leave this alone. Like Steven's traumatized. Like help him, please. And then. Okay, scroll. I just have to go through all of them. There's just so much.
No worries. Take your time.
And then we have, okay, so basically about, like, it's like the typical Pearl stuff about, like, oh, like, I kind of mentioned earlier about her, like, she's kind of depicted as, like, this bitter, lesbian, and, like, that's not good, like and...
That was only really, like, I feel like you kind of maybe, like, get that impression from, like, Rose's Scabbard, right? And then, like, a bit from, like, We Need to Talk, too. And maybe, I guess you could argue a bit from Sworn to the Sword. But, like, after that, I feel like it's really, like, that kind of depiction isn't really, like, heavily portrayed on the show. And I feel like they've been, like, pretty consciously trying to, like, not have that be how she's portrayed, so...
it's like a very kind of realistic depiction, though. Like, hello, literally in love with her, and then she's taking care of, like, her son. Like, I'd be sad, like, shoot.
Yeah, I guess I don't see it as, like, oh, she's bitter. It's like, oh, she's, like, a complicated person who, like, went through this, like, intense situation and is dealing with the aftermath, and that's, like, very human and complicated. I guess I feel like just saying she's bitter is like kind of dismissive of that larger like complexity, but like I understand where that kind of criticism comes from at the same time.
No, I understand, especially in the state of queer lady media. Like, this is no. But I think honestly, for me, this is a bigger issue with how women are portrayed in media, and that.
Oh, of course,
because it's okay. So Oh God Not Her said she's either a jealous, bitter lesbian who always hates on the perfect straight ship, or she's being abusive to those around her. I don't know about the. I'm not going to touch the abusive thing. I have no comments on that. I don't really know what that is specifically referring to.
Mm-hmm.
But well, she's either a jealous, bitter lesbian. She can be a jealous, bitter lesbian. Women, she can be that. That's okay. Like, there's this thing where like if women aren't portrayed as like perfect and like happy all the time, people are like, oh, she's just beep, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's not okay. Like women don't have to be perfect and this and this, and I think that's a big that's a really typical visceral reaction to things, because it's like we're trained to see media that way, to like, and it's just ingrained, like, oh, she's rude, like, oh, she's not like thinking that, and it's just not a good, like, these are really like real, like, for gay space rocks, these are pretty realistic portrayals of how people actually are and how people aren't perfect. And the way, and on like Pearl does, like, she doesn't always handle these like things very maturely, but I mean, it's Greg also, and like
and like Greg like kind of acknowledges that too, because like in Mr. Greg, he's like, I knew exactly what, like, I knew you cared about her, I knew you were in love, and like I stayed, and I kind of regret that too, even though like able to acknowledge it was complicated, it was bigger than them. Like Rose loved him, he loved her. Pearl had her own feelings, like, that's just life. Like, nobody's in the right. It's just life.
Yeah, it's just, and again, there's nothing wrong. Like, if you see that and you're like, oh, she's rude, that's fine. But it's also like sometimes we have to take a step back and be like, why do I think this? Because it's giant stuff in media all the time. Oh man, I could write a paper about it. But, and I mean, it's also this is from Steven's perspective, and like obviously like Steven wouldn't be here if like Rose and Greg hadn't been a thing, and of course Steven loves his dad and he loves Pearl. I do think they show, the thing is too, they show Pearl's side more of it, like more, and I think that's why people get that kind of impression that she's just kind of like awful, because we don't really get Greg's side as much. Like even after Mr. Greg, we don't really get Greg's side. Like we get these, because it's always like, we don't really see Pearl and Rose together at any point, so.
Yeah, not really alone ever.
So it's hard to kind of like mesh those two things. But I mean, I understand where you're coming from. Oh God, Not Her. I don't really think this is necessarily applicable to this episode though. Like I think this is a pretty great Pearl, like represent like what Pearl's going on and doing in this episode is pretty great, and like she's kind of, I don't know, it's fun.
She's like an awkward like klutz who like wants to impress like a girl. Like that's totally normal. And, like, everyone's into it. Like, Steven's encouraging it. Like, Amethyst is super into it. Like, everyone's on board with this. Nobody's getting hurt. And, like, Mystery Girl, like, gave her phone number, so she seems pretty into it, too. It's like a win-win.
Good stuff. Thanks for sending in all the asks. I do read all of it. It's just, I gotta get through it all. I got a lot of asks. Like, I actually got more asks. I mean, not surprised. I got more asks tonight than I got last week.
They're building. They're just, they keep growing and multiplying from here on out.
Let's go to Squash Splat. Hi.
Squash Splat. I love that.
That's a great URL. And I love these. It's a Hyde. Okay, I don't know if they are misspelled my name or if it's purposefully cute. I appreciate it either way. Delaney, nice. And then Michelle. So.
Oh! That's exciting. Ooh. Hashtag Delaney.
Hashtag God. Okay. I have been a listener of you guys' podcast for months now, but I never sent in a question. So thanks for sending in a question.
Oh.
I just have to after that episode. This was the gayest I've ever seen Pearl, and that is saying something. I was wondering, in what way do you think this episode sheds a light into Pearl's character? Do you think it changes your perception of her, or is it just an extension of what we already knew about her in a different context?
I feel like it definitely sheds light on her, because like I don't think we we've never seen Pearl to this extent try to be so cool for a reason before. And to, like, kind of reflect on the fact she's like, oh, like, maybe I'm, like, getting old and I'm not, like, hip anymore. Like, I feel like before this episode, we wouldn't have really thought that's something Pearl would even care about because she's so, like, practical and, like, doesn't really care about humans. But I don't know. I feel like I learned something about Pearl. What about you?
No, definitely. It's just this. Well, it's like Pearl wants to be bad.
Yeah, she like wants to. Then she's also like, I gotta like do it on my own terms, though, not in like the like 1980s like teenage movie like kind of like badass, but like my own kind of because like she didn't think she was bad, right? And then Amethyst was like, no, like everything we did tonight was like so crazy. You don't understand. That was awesome. It's like she can do it. She just isn't. She just like go for like perception of what that is and just like do it naturally herself and she'll be fine.
It's just, I don't know. I do think it's definitely like this new. I don't know. It's not a new. I don't know if this way. Well, I get it's a new side of Pearl. I don't know how much we're going to explore it because
in the present, I don't know. I feel like it could be a lot like maybe how she was in like The Answer, and I feel like we're definitely going to get more like.
The Renegade Pearl.
The Renegade Pearl, yeah. And then we can see, like, more concretely, like, what her attitude was. So, I feel like it could be pretty similar to how she was in this. Only, like, not as self-conscious about doing it all the time, just, like, kind of being like that for real.
Right. We'll just have to see. I do think this is an interesting thing. I don't think anyone was really anticipating getting kind of this kind of thing.
Yeah, right? That's part of what made the episode so awesome. It's just like, oh, Pearl, you're breaking more and more rules. Oh, it keeps getting more and more gay. Like, it just, like, kept building. It was so good.
There's just so much to Pearl. Which is something I think we have to remember is that we know nothing about these characters. Like, I think it's an interesting thing we have to deal with because these characters have lived for so long that we're like, oh, blah, 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 we know, blah, blah, blah. No, we don't. These characters have lived for so long. They could literally just pull anything and be like, oh, okay. So, we'll see. I'll have to see how we get more of that. And it was definitely fun to see, like, Pearl be this way. You know, she's usually straight-laced, this, and this. And it was pretty fun.
She's really good at driving a car, like, when she wants to. Compared to her doing the, like, what was the name of the arcade? Like Roads of Rage or something? Yeah. Teens of Rage? I don't know. She, like, sucked at driving, and she was trying really hard. So, like, she's come a long way from that.
Maybe she practiced, like, maybe...
Oh my god, you're right. She probably, like, snuck back in, like, every night to get really good at driving, because she's like, I'll show you, game!
Like, I don't even...
I'm not horrible at all.
I don't know, like, well, all the stuff about the DMV, it was like, how do you know these things, Pearl? Like...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I guess maybe she's been in car situations before.
Which, that was an ask we got from Anon.
Really?
That was sent to Dylan.
What was it?
So, going off of what was talked about, how did Pearl know about the DMV but not pink hair? Okay, I can get it, but even more, how did she know about the DMV but not the police? Like, I imagine that she would have read the pamphlets for driving if she was learning about the DMV, unless, like, Greg, or some of the other boardies casually mentioned it.
Maybe, like, she was in, like, the van when, like, Greg gets pulled over at some point, and so she, like, knows, like, about car licenses and such. I don't know, that's kind of a good question. How would she not know about dyed hair, but also know about the DMV?
And, like, she knows about the DMV, but not, like, her license. I don't know. Well, I mean, okay, to be fair, like, when you actually do, like, we have to remember cultural context. Like, yeah, you grow up in the United States, and you're like, you have to pull over to the side of the road and get out your license and registration. That's actually not really, like, one, a lot of people don't read the driving manual, for one. I actually don't, I read the manual. I don't recall, like, distinctly reading that section.
Mm-hmm.
You just know that. So
yeah, you just kind of know that. So, like, it's so true.
So, and she's literally from another planet, and also, like, 6,000 years ago, like, Pearl's, like, she's like, what is this nonsense?
That's true. Car driving procedures probably changed a lot.
She doesn't know.
You know.
Who knows? So, to pop in back around some more asks. I don't think we're going to get to all the asks tonight, and I'm really sorry, guys. It's just, we're trying to keep our podcast a little bit shorter, so it's easier to listen to.
Yeah.
We used to do hour-and-a-half podcasts, guys, and those, no one wants to sit and listen to that. Like,
I do.
I used to sit and listen to those, but I was like,
they're really good if you're multitasking, but if you're just doing it to, like, listen intently, I can see how it is kind of a lot.
Well, it's different with an episode discussion that just kind of, like, keeps going and then doing feedback. I'm going to try, next, I'm not doing too well with, like, picking and choosing yet. I'm going to try and do my best to try and, like, group asks. And then, but for right now, so the Teen of Steel said, I think it was kind of awkward how Steven blatantly stated, oh, I'm going to start, if you, like, we do answer non-asks, but, you know, if you put your name with it, we're more likely to answer it, so maybe.
Oh, that's good to know.
Not that I'm, like, calling y'all out or anything, but I'm gonna be more.
Reveal yourselves.
Like, it's fine. So, I think it was kind of awkward how Steven blatantly stated how Mystery Girl looked like Rose. Oh, yeah, no, it was super awkward.
It was super awkward.
I mean, it was really funny, and it definitely needed to
Yeah, I thought that one was really funny.
And it wasn't even just the joke, too. Like, they had to call that out. Like, they were like, okay.
Yeah,
so.
Everyone noticed, like, as soon as she came in to the donut shop, like, we knew what was up. It's uncanny. And
then 2 more from the Teen of Steel. I'm just going to, like, run through them real quick. Some of them are more comments than asks. But, well, I think I found another top episode contender. I think Michelle would agree with you there.
Yes. Absolutely.
I love the way Mystery Girl was designed. Definitely something that you would see in the real world, which is a huge plus. The whole pink aesthetic and background of the episode was great. Pearl finally, after having a retrospective look on herself, has now decided to move on from Rose, which is such a great character development that Pearl needs in her life. Amen. True.
I agree. Absolutely.
I think it's funny how all the Crystal Gems knew that Pearl liked Rose. Everything came to realization when Steven told them that she looked like Rose. And it's also worth noting how much Pearl wanted to look cool for Steven and Amethyst. She genuinely cared about their opinions of her and wanted to make them look up to her. We've had that before. That's definitely been a thing. Like, there's, like, strong in the real way and all that stuff.
Mm. Yeah. It's nice to see it reinforced, though, in episodes like this.
And another character development is that she wants to socialize with humans, so maybe now she'll stop looking down on humans and start to appreciate them.
Yeah, I agree.
Point. I mean, she even tried to, like, drink stuff. Like, who is
she's like, I was gonna drink a juice! And she did kind of until she spat it out when Mr. Joke came in.
I mean, the love of her life, walk into the convenience store. I mean, that's what happens. You know, you gotta spit out your apple juice.
I appreciate.
Well, I think that, great comments. I think we all agree, basically, with all of that. Like, yeah, I mean, we've had this Pearl, definitely, like, all of the gyms, they're like, I want Steven to like me, I want the other gyms to think I'm cool. Like, that's definitely a thing with all of the gyms. Except Garnet, because Garnet's just
Garnet's so stable in her coolness. She's like, it's alright. Like, I know I'm pretty cool. But with Amethyst and Pearl, yeah, I agree.
But, I do think it is, like, this is interesting. I didn't really think about that, about, wanting to socialize with humans, wanting to, like, do what humans do. It's not really a 180, but it's definitely, like, probably coming from, like, the whole, like, stuff with Greg, like, having more of an appreciation.
Yeah. And, like, she's, like, kind of interacted with of it. Like, she talked to, like, me or Dewey a couple times, I guess. And she sort of talked to, has she talked to, like, Jamie at all? And, like, Connie, her and Connie are getting along great. So I think this has kind of been building in the background for a while. Her comfortableness with humans.
Yeah, I do, like, this is definitely, I think it's been some subtle stuff, and, this is just kind of like wham bam in your face. Alright, we're gonna get one more. I got an email. Also, if you send me an email, I'm gonna read your email because you sent me an email. Because I was like, I had to, like,
old school somehow in this age of technology.
So this is from patron John, which, shout out to John. I saw you on our Powerpuff Girl discussion saying you would support us. Like, thank you.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
You, John.
Saw you. Want to give you that shout out. So, John has a few comments.
All right.
I want to be a fly on the wall at Greg's card game with Barb and Vidalia. I mean, same. And then how much is it kvetching about their kids do you think they're doing? I'm from Kentucky. Why do y'all send me hard words? I can't read. Oh no, they're definitely like, how do you top Greg though? Like, the stuff Steven does, like,
yeah.
Like, it's probably all of them just staring in horror while Greg talks. What?
Oh my god.
Also, this episode could not have come at a more coincidental time, just because the day before my new pair of Doc Martin boots came in, and I got a text about a punk rock garage show in my neighborhood with a band I videotaped. Clearly the Crooniverse is in my head. Yes, no, I think they're, like, filming your life or something.
Absolutely. That's exactly what that sounds like.
one, that's super cool.
Yeah, good job, you.
Both things. And yeah, no, like, I think they're following you around. Okay, that was just the same thing twice. Cool. Sorry, my email looks like it messed up. That's okay.
No worries.
Well, I think we about covered it. That's all the asks even.
Wow. Yeah, we covered a lot. So, how many more were there? I'm out of curiosity.
No, that's actually all the asks.
Oh, really? Oh, great. Okay.
I ran through the Teen of Steels a little bit. I'm really sorry. Just, it's a lot. If y'all, can maybe next time try to, like, one, I want to read y'all's comments. I want to know what y'all think. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. But, like, because I want to read what everyone says. We've got to, like, condense it a little. I also did not read everything Oh God, Not Her said. It's a lot. Like, I just can't. And Delaney can't read. And it's embarrassing when Delaney mispronounces words because she's from Kentucky and stupid, so.
That's not true.
Delaney's
great.
But thank you for all y'all's feedback.
Oh, thank you guys.
It's a great time. It's very enjoyable. So, you can find out all the info on this podcast at overlyanimated.com. You can support us via Patreon, like John, because John's awesome, and he gets to talk to us on Facebook, at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to our current patrons, Mitch Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, Rachel, John, Ryan, Catherine, Taylor, Davon J, John, Phoenician, Victoria, Fever Mitch, Cordell University, Beatrix Lestrange, Nathan Fillion, Buzz Lightyear, Mailman, Rachel Rose, Johnny Bravo, Brian, Cookie Cat, Needle, Diamond Day, Jewel, Garfield, and then we're trying to figure out the last two nicknames. It's sometimes coming up with those nicknames. Sunday, we have me, Justin, and Dylan talking about Ladybug. It's like our season 2 wish list. Some of them are realistic, a lot of them aren't.
That's why they're wish lists,
though. They're wish lists. I mean, some of them are kind of like, oh, I want this to happen. The other ones were like, no, I just want this to happen. It's never going to happen in the show. But that's it. Any last thoughts, Michelle?
Feel like I don't know. I mean, it's like I know, like we've kind of talked about how gay it is. It's just I don't know. I think this is one of those times where, like, I wonder if when I was, like, much younger, if I'd seen something like this, I would have, like, realized that ladies were an option, like, way earlier in life, you know?
Hello. Yeah, no, I feel that.
It's just so obvious in the episode. I don't know.
It's good stuff. More of it. But thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.